I'm standing in my son's dining room, and the woman across from me is smiling. Not a kind smile, not even a polite smile, a victory smile. The kind that says she's already won, and we both know it. Yolanda sits there in black silk wine glass balanced on her knee diamonds, catching the light from the chandelier my retirement fund helped buy. Her lips curve wider. Her eyes glitter like broken glass. My son just told me to apologize to her or get out of his house. 27 years of raising him alone. And it came down to this moment, this choice, this woman who's been in our lives for 6 months treating me like something she scraped off her shoe. The room smells like expensive candles and roasted garlic. Classical music plays from speakers I can't see. Everything looks perfect, magazine perfect. The kind of perfect that costs more than I make in 6 months. Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. I walk toward Yolanda. My feet move across the hardwood floor, the floor I helped pay for, though Garrett doesn't know that. Her smirk grows. She thinks she's got me cornered. She thinks I'm going to gravel. Our eyes lock. Hers confident. Mine something else entirely. You're absolutely right, I say. Her smile widens, full teeth now. She thinks those are the words she wanted. She thinks I'm surrendering. I turn to Garrett, to my son, the boy I raised alone since he was 3 years old. The man standing there with his jaw clenched and his eyes hard, demanding I apologize to a woman who just spent 2 hours tearing me apart. About everything I add, and I hope you'll be very happy. Then I walk out. I don't slam the door. I don't cry. I don't look back at Garrett's face or Rosalind's shocked expression or Yolanda's confusion as she realizes those weren't the words she expected. I get in my car. The engine starts on the 3rd try. It always does that when it's cold. I drive home with the radio off. No music, no news, just the sound of my tires on wet pavement and my own breathing. The streets look empty. Everyone's inside their warm houses having normal dinners with normal families who don't implode over chicken piccata. I park in my driveway. The motion sensor light flickers on, then off, then on again. I keep meaning to fix that. I walk into my house, small, paid off mine, and sit down in the dark. 27 years gone in one dinner. I don't turn on the lights. I just sit at my kitchen table in the darkness, my purse still on my shoulder. My coat still buttoned. The refrigerator hums. The clock on the wall ticks. Normal sounds in an abnormal night. I make tea eventually. Earl Grey. I don't drink it. I just watch steam rise from the cup, then stop rising, then disappear as the tea goes cold. Around midnight, my phone rings. The screen lights up the dark kitchen. Garrett's name. His photo. The one from his college graduation, back when he still hugged me without being asked. I don't answer. The ringing starts again. Starts. By 1 hour in the morning, I have 17 missed calls. The phone buzzes against the table like an angry wasp. I watch the numbers climb. 18, 19, 20. Text messages flood in. My phone can't keep up. The screen just scrolls and scrolls. Mom, please pick up. We need to talk. Please call me back. Mom, something happened. Please, please, please. I watch the words appear and disappear as new ones replace them. My son begging me to answer. The same son who told me to apologize or leave. The same son who chose a woman he's known 6 months over the woman who raised him alone. By 3:00 in the morning, there are 32 missed calls. 32 times my son decided he needed me after telling me to get out. I turn off my phone. The screen goes black. The kitchen falls silent again, except for that humming refrigerator and ticking clock. I go to bed. I don't sleep. I stare at the ceiling and watch shadows from the streetlight move across the plaster. Shapes that mean nothing. Patterns that go nowhere. In the morning, I turn my phone back on. 47 more missed calls, voice messages, texts that scroll past the screen so fast I can't read them. My phone makes noise for 2 full minutes trying to catch up on everything it missed while it was off. I make coffee, French roast. I burned it a little. I always do when I'm not paying attention. I drink it anyway because wasting things feels wrong, even on days when everything else is already wasted. I water my plants, the African violet on the windowsill, the spider plant hanging in the corner, the snake plant by the door that's supposed to be impossible to kill. I water them like it's any other Sunday, like my entire world didn't shift off its axis 12 hours ago. The voicemails sit there waiting. 47 little red notifications calling to me. I pick up my phone. My finger hovers over the voicemail icon. Do I want to know? Do I want to hear whatever excuse or explanation or apology he's got? I press it. Garrett's voice comes through raw, panicked. Nothing like the hard, cold tone from last night. Mom, please pick up. Yolanda's lying. She's been lying about everything. Please call me back. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please. I delete it. Next message. Mom, you don't understand. After you left, God, Mom, please call me. I need to talk to you. I need to explain. Please don't shut me out. Delete. Next message. I chose wrong, Mom. I chose so wrong. Please let me fix this. Please. Delete. Next. Delete. Next. Delete. 47 messages and they're all the same. Panic, desperation. Sorry, please. Over and over until the words lose meaning. I pour another cup of coffee. This one I don't burn. Small victories on days when everything else is lost. What could have happened after I left? What could Yolanda have done in those hours between my exit and Garrett's panic? What truth came out that made him call 32 times before sunrise? I sit at my kitchen table with my coffee. I don't turn my phone off this time. I just set it face down and listen to it buzz. Another call, another text, another piece of my son's desperation vibrating against the wood. The truth is, I don't know if I want to know. Some doors, once you open them, you can't close again. Some words, once you hear them, you can't unhear. But the phone keeps buzzing, and somewhere across town, my son keeps calling. His father left when Garrett was 3, just walked out one Tuesday morning and never came back. No note, no explanation, no child support, just gone. I remember Garrett asking for him for months. Where's Daddy every night before bed? Every morning at breakfast? When's Daddy coming home? I never knew what to say. How do you tell a 3-year-old that Daddy doesn't love him enough to stay, that some people just leave and don't look back? So I said, Daddy's working far away. And then Daddy's not coming back, but we're going to be okay. And eventually, it's just you and me now, buddy. We've got each other. 27 years of just us, too. I worked double shifts at County General, 12-hour days that turned into 14-16 when they were short-staffed. My feet ached, my back screamed. I wore scrubs with holes in the pockets until they practically fell apart because new ones cost money I didn't have. Garrett ate a lot of cold pizza, a lot of mac and cheese from the box, a lot of dinners scraped together from whatever was on sale that week. But he never went hungry. His clothes might have been from the discount store, but they were clean. His shoes might have been generic brand, but they fit. He got his school supplies. He went on field trips. He played Little League even though the registration fee made me skip lunches for 2 weeks. I was at every game, every parent-teacher conference, every science fair, every recital. Me in my hospital scrubs because I came straight from work smelling like antiseptic and exhaustion. But I was there. Other kids had 2 parents. Other kids had dads who taught them to throw a ball properly. Other kids had moms who didn't work 60-hour weeks and fall asleep during bedtime stories. But Garrett had me. And I thought that was enough. He was a good kid, smart kind. He helped with dishes without being asked. He did his homework at the kitchen table while I cooked dinner. He told me about his day, the good parts and the hard parts. And I listened. We had traditions. Friday night movies on the couch with popcorn I burned half the time. Saturday morning pancakes shaped like Mickey Mouse. Sunday evenings reading together. Him with his chapter books and me with my nursing journals. It wasn't perfect, but it was ours. Then he grew up. They do that. They pull away because they're supposed to. It's natural and right. And it still feels like losing pieces of yourself one day at a time. High school. He got busy with friends, with sports, with girls. Stopped telling me every detail of his day. Started saying fine when I asked how school was college. He called once a week, then once every 2 weeks, then just on holidays. I told myself that was normal. That's what kids do. They launch. They fly. They forget to call their mothers because they're busy living their lives. I was proud of him. Engineering degree, good job, his own apartment. He was making it. He was going to be okay without me. Isn't that what mothers want for their kids, to not need them anymore? He moved across town after college, 20 minutes away, close enough to visit, far enough to be his own person. He came over for dinner twice a year. My birthday, Christmas sometimes. Thanksgiving if his friends didn't have better plans. I never complained. I smiled and said I understood. I said I was busy too. I said it was fine, but I noticed the distance growing. I felt it like cold air seeping under a door. My son slipping further away with every month, every year, every missed call. He didn't return. I told myself it was normal. All kids do this. All mothers go through this. Then he met Rosalind, and the distance became a canyon I couldn't cross even if I tried. The invitation came 3 weeks ago, Tuesday evening. I was folding laundry in front of the TV, some crime show I wasn't really watching. When my phone rang, Garrett's name on the screen made me smile. He never called on Tuesdays. "Hey, honey," I answered. "Hey, Mom." His voice sounded careful, like he was walking on ice. "How are you?" "I'm good. Just folding clothes. How are you?" "Good." "Listen, Rosalind wants to have you over for dinner Saturday at 7:00. Would that work?" My chest warmed. After 6 months of marriage, maybe my daughter-in-law wanted to build a relationship. Maybe she wanted to know the woman who raised the man she loved. Maybe there was hope for us after all. "That sounds wonderful, sweetheart. What can I bring? Just yourself. Rosalind's doing everything." He paused. "Yolanda will be there too. She's staying with us for a few weeks. The warmth cooled, not gone, just tempered." "Oh, well, that's fine. I'd love to come." "Great. 7:00. See you then." "See you then, honey. Love you." "Yeah. Bye, Mom." He hung up before I could say it back. I'd met Rosalind twice before the wedding. Once at an Italian restaurant downtown where she ordered the most expensive thing on the menu and barely ate 3 bites. She wore all black designer labels I recognized from magazines. She barely spoke to me except to ask what I did for a living, then nodded when I said, "Nurse," like I'd confirmed something she already suspected. The second time was at their apartment. I brought flowers, yellow roses, because they're cheerful. Rosalind took them from my hands, looked at them like I'd brought weeds, and rearranged them in a vase before I'd even taken off my coat. "Yellow's not really my color," she said, "but thank you." Her apartment looked like something from a catalog, all white and gray and chrome. Nothing on the walls that suggested actual people lived there. Nothing warm, nothing comfortable, nothing that said home. She showed me around like a realtor giving a tour. This is the living room. This is the kitchen. Garrett's office is down the hall. Garrett's office. Not our office. His. I asked about her work. She managed operations for a nonprofit. Something with environmental policy. She talked about it the way you'd talk about traffic. A thing that existed. A thing she dealt with. Nothing that mattered. When I asked how they met, Garrett answered for her. "Work conference. She spilled coffee on me." Rosalind smiled. "He's exaggerating." I bumped his elbow. They looked at each other. Some private joke I wasn't part of. Some shared moment that excluded me automatically. I left after 30 minutes. They didn't ask me to stay for dinner even though it was already 6:00. The wedding was 6 months ago. Small ceremony at a hotel ballroom. Rosalind's family took up most of the room. Her mother Yolanda in the front row wearing a designer suit that probably cost more than my car. Her brother, the cardiothoracic surgeon with his lawyer wife. Her father's business partners. Her college friends. Her work colleagues. My side of the room looked empty by comparison. My sister Carol. My friend Denise from the hospital. A few cousins I hadn't seen in years. During the reception, Yolanda held court at the head table. She talked about her vacation home in Scottsdale, her recent cruise to Alaska, her son's groundbreaking surgery saving a senator's life, her daughter-in-law's promotion to senior partner. She looked at my off-the-rack dress, the nicest thing I owned bought on sale at Macy's, the way you'd look at spoiled milk. When she asked what I did, I said, "I'm a nurse." "How admirable," she said. Her tone suggested it was anything but. Such demanding work. "I don't know how you manage." Then she turned to talk to someone more interesting. Someone wearing better jewelry. Someone who mattered. I should have known then. Should have seen what was coming. Should have recognized the danger in a woman who measures people by the cost of their clothes. But I was just happy. Garrett was happy. That's all mothers want, right? For their kids to be happy. Saturday arrived gray and cold. November pretending to be January. I stopped at the bakery on 5th Street and bought a lemon tart, Garrett's favorite since he was 8 years old. And I made one for his birthday because we couldn't afford store-bought cake. I wore my navy blouse, the one with pearl buttons that I saved for special occasions. My good slacks that still fit if I didn't breathe too deep. My coat that was warm if not fashionable. I practiced what to say on the drive over. Compliment the house. Compliment the food. Ask about work. Keep it light. Keep it pleasant. Don't mention how rarely Garrett calls. Don't mention how much I miss him. Don't make it about me. Their neighborhood looked brand new. Every lawn the same shade of chemical green. Every mailbox gleaming chrome. Every house varying shades of beige, like someone was afraid of color. Young families, double in-home couples, people with futures that stretched out bright and promising. People who didn't shop at discount stores or work double shifts or eat cold pizza for dinner. I found their house at the end of a cul-de-sac, brick front 2-car garage, a wreath on the door that matched the 1-3 houses down identical safe, exactly what they were supposed to want. I'd helped with the down payment, $20,000 from my retirement fund. Garrett didn't know that. I told him his father's life insurance finally came through, that it wasn't much, but I wanted him to have it. The truth was simpler and harder. I cashed out my 401k, paid the penalty, and handed over what was left. My retirement, my security, my someday when I can't work any more money. Gone into a house my son thought he bought himself. Some sacrifices you don't advertise. You just make them and move on and hope they matter. I grabbed the bakery box and walked to the front door. My breath made clouds in the cold air. The doorbell played a musical chime, something classical I didn't recognize. Rosalind answered. She wore a cream cashmere sweater that probably cost $600. Her hair pulled back in a perfect low bun. Makeup subtle and expensive. She looked like she was ready for a photo shoot, not a family dinner. "Oh, you brought something." She took the bakery box without looking inside. "We already have dessert, but thanks." She didn't invite me in. Just stood there holding my lemon tart like it was contaminated. "Can I come in?" I asked. "Oh, right. Yes." She stepped back. "Sorry. Come in." The house smelled like roasted garlic and rosemary. Classical music played from speakers I couldn't see. Everything looked staged perfect like a magazine spread titled, "How Young Professionals Live." I recognized the dining table, solid oak seats 8. I'd given them money for furniture after the down payment, though they'd told me they saved up for it themselves. Apparently saving up meant accepting another check from Mom and pretending it was something else. The Persian rug in the living room, the leather sectional, the abstract art on the walls that looked expensive, because it was ugly in that specific way. Expensive art is ugly. All of it purchased with my retirement money that Garrett thought was his dead father's insurance. Mom. Garrett came from the kitchen. He hugged me. Brief, automatic, the kind of hug you give people at funerals. You look nice. So do you, sweetheart. He wore a button-down shirt I hadn't seen before. Expensive fabric pressed perfectly. His hair freshly cut. He looked successful. Adult, like someone I used to know. Let me take your coat. I handed it over. He hung it in the front closet next to a row of matching hangers. Everything in this house matched. Everything had a place. Everything was exactly right. Yolanda emerged from the kitchen holding a wine glass like a weapon. She wore black silk, a statement necklace that glittered under the chandelier earrings that dangled rings on 4 fingers, enough jewelry to fund a semester of college. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. Helen, how nice of you to join us. The way she said it, like I was a charitable cause, like my presence was an act of generosity on their part, like she was doing me a favor by allowing me into a house I helped buy. Thank you for having me, I said. Because that's what you say. That's what's expected even when the words taste like metal in your mouth. Dinner started pleasant enough. We sat at the oak table I'd helped pay for. Rosalind brought out chicken piccata on white plates that matched the white walls and white curtains and white everything. The food looked like art, perfectly arranged, garnished with parsley. The kind of meal that takes hours to prepare and minutes to eat. Everything tasted expensive, complicated, like it was trying too hard to be impressive. This is wonderful, Rosalind, I said. It's just a simple recipe from my cooking class in Paris. She said, waving her hand. Anyone can make it. Anyone with time for cooking classes in Paris. Anyone who doesn't work 60-hour weeks. Anyone who isn't me. Yolanda dominated the conversation immediately. She talked about her country club, the new tennis pro, the drama with the membership committee. She talked about her recent cruise Alaska Glacias excursions, seeing whales from the deck of a ship that cost more per night than I made in a week. She talked about her son, not Garrett. Her real son, the cardiothoracic surgeon, the one who mattered. He'd performed a groundbreaking surgery on a senator. He'd been interviewed for a medical journal. He was speaking at a conference in Geneva. Of course, Rosalind's doing well, too. Yolanda added almost as an afterthought. Though working at a nonprofit doesn't quite compare to corporate law or medicine, but it's nice that she's passionate about something. Rosalind's jaw tightened. Her fork paused halfway to her mouth. For a second, I felt sorry for her. Living under that weight, that constant comparison to the successful daughter-in-law, the one who matters. Garrett tried steering the conversation. We saw that new movie last weekend, the one with Helen. Yolanda interrupted. She always interrupted. Garrett tells me you work at a hospital. I'm a nurse, I said. Have been for 32 years. How admirable. Her tone made admirable sound like pathetic. Such hard work. All those hours, all that physical labor. I don't know how you manage. Of course I never had to work. My late husband provided very well. I've been fortunate that way. The barb landed soft but deliberate. A knife wrapped in velvet. She sipped her wine and waited for me to react. I smiled. I took another bite of chicken. I wouldn't give her the satisfaction. Not yet. Garrett turned out wonderfully, I said. I'm proud of the man he became. Yes. Well, she set down her wine glass. Children need strong male role models. It's unfortunate he didn't have a father growing up. That absence leaves marks, doesn't it? The room went completely still. Even the classical music seemed to pause. The air felt thick, heavy like storm clouds gathering. Garrett shifted in his chair, his face flushed. Yolanda. I don't think I'm just saying what everyone knows, she continued. Single mothers try their best. They do, but there are limitations. Fathers teach boys how to be men, how to make decisions, how to be strong, how to choose appropriate partners. She glanced at Rosalind when she said appropriate partners. A look loaded with meaning, with disappointment, with the suggestion that Garrett wasn't good enough for her daughter. My hands went cold. I set my fork down carefully, precisely because if I held it any longer, I might use it for something other than eating. Garrett has always made excellent decisions, I said. My voice came out steady, calm, the nurse voice I use when patients are panicking. As Yolanda leaned forward, her eyes glittered. She smelled blood. Because from where I'm sitting, he could have done much better. Rosalind has options, you know. Men from good families, men with prospects, men with fathers who taught them how to be successful. Mother, please, Rosalind started. I'm simply being honest. Garrett's a sweet boy. I'm sure he means well, but let's not pretend he comes from much. No father, no family money, no connections. What kind of future does that promise? The words hung in the air like smoke, poisonous, choking, impossible to ignore. Garrett stared at his plate, his face red, his jaw clenched, his hands gripping his fork and knife like he wanted to stab something. Rosalind looked at the wall at her lap anywhere but at me or her mother or her husband. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. The house was so quiet I could hear the refrigerator humming in the kitchen. I felt something crack inside my chest. Not break, I'd been broken before. This was different. This was a door slamming shut on patience I didn't know I'd run out of. On forgiveness I didn't know I'd stopped offering. On tolerance for people who mistake kindness for weakness. I think I said quietly that Garrett comes from love. That's more than some people can say. Yolanda's eyes flashed, her lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. Love doesn't pay mortgages, Helen. Love doesn't buy houses in nice neighborhoods. Love doesn't provide security or stability, or the kind of life my daughter deserves. No, I said sometimes mothers do that. Garrett's head snapped up. His face went from red to white in seconds. Mom, I helped with your down payment, sweetheart. I wanted you to have a good start. The room tilted. The air pressure changed. Something fundamental shifted in a way that couldn't be unshifted. Garrett stared at me. His mouth opened, closed, opened again. What, your father's life insurance? I said. That was me, my retirement fund. I wanted you to have this house. Rosalind blinked, confused, processing, doing the math in her head, understanding, slowly dawning that everything she thought she knew was wrong. Yolanda's expression shifted to something calculating, predatory, like a wolf who just spotted weakness. How generous, she said slowly, although one has to wonder if enabling young people is really helping them. Perhaps if Garrett had earned everything himself, he'd have more backbone, more self-respect, more pride. That's enough. Garrett's voice came out strangled, desperate, but not directed at Yolanda. Directed at the whole situation, at the bomb I'd just dropped. At the secret exposed, but Yolanda wasn't finished. She never knew when to stop. People like her never do. I'm just saying that a man who needs his mother's money isn't much of a man at all. And a mother who can't let go raises boys who never grow up. Boys who depend on women to save them instead of saving themselves. The silence after was thick enough to choke on. Dense, absolute, the kind of silence that comes before violence or after death. I stood up, my chair scraped against the hardwood floor, the sound sharp. Final. Thank you for dinner. I said I should go. Mom, wait. Garrett started to rise. Sit down, Garrett. Yolanda's voice cracked like a whip, sharp, commanding, the voice of someone used to being obeyed. Your mother is being dramatic. She's making this all about her feelings instead of facing the truth. I'm not being dramatic. I picked up my purse from the floor. My hands shook. I steadied them. I'm leaving before I say something I'll regret. See, Yolanda gestured at me like I was evidence in a trial. This is exactly what I mean. She can't handle honest conversation. She's making this all about her instead of thinking about what's best for you, for your marriage, for your future. Something in Garrett's face changed. I saw it happen in real time. Saw him look between us. His mother, who raised him alone. His mother-in-law, who'd been in his life 6 months, saw him weigh, measure, choose. Mom. His voice was harder now, distant, cold. Maybe you should apologize. The room tilted. The floor dropped out from under me. What, you're being disrespectful to Yolanda. She's a guest in our home. In my home. You need to apologize. I stared at my son, at this man I'd raised, alone, fed, clothed, loved, through every fever and heartbreak and disappointment. This man whose college textbooks I'd bought while eating ramen for dinner. This man whose down payment I'd funded with my retirement. This man who wouldn't exist without me. I should apologize. My voice came out steady. Calm. The calm before hurricanes. The calm before everything breaks. For what exactly? For making her uncomfortable, for being defensive, for... He waved his hand, vaguely frustrated, like he couldn't find the right words. Just apologize and we can move past this. We can forget this happened. Rosalind touched his arm. Garrett, maybe. No. He shook her off, angry now. At me, at her, at the whole situation spinning out of his control. My mother needs to learn respect. Yolanda is family now. She deserves better treatment, better manners. Mom needs to understand that. I looked at Yolanda. Really looked at her. She sat back in her chair, wine glass balanced on her knee lips, curved in a small smile. Satisfied, victorious, like a chess player who just announced checkmate. She'd won. She'd turned my son against me in under 2 hours. Poisoned him with careful words and calculated cruelty. Made him choose between the woman who raised him and the woman who insulted her to her face. And he'd chosen wrong. Apologize, Mom. Garrett stood now, his face hard closed. A stranger wearing my son's face. Or get out of my house. The words landed like stones. Each one heavy, final, irreversible. Get out of my house. The house I helped buy. The house that should have been my retirement, traveling to Europe or taking painting classes or doing anything except working until I die. I stood up straighter. I looked at Yolanda. Our eyes locked hers. Confident. Mind something else, something she didn't recognize, didn't understand, didn't see coming. I walked over to her slowly, deliberately, each step measured. The room held its breath. Our eyes stayed locked, hers glittering with victory, mine clear, calm, decided. You're absolutely right, I said. Her smirk widened. Full teeth now. She thought those were the words she wanted. She thought I was surrendering, groveling, admitting defeat. I turned to Garrett, to my son, my only child. The reason I worked 60-hour weeks and wore scrubs with holes and ate cold pizza and gave up everything about everything I added. And I hope you'll be very happy. Then I walked out. I didn't slam the door. Slamming would have been satisfying. Slamming would have been dramatic. Slamming would have proved Yolanda right. So I closed it carefully, quietly, with the soft click of a door closing for the last time. I walked to my car. The motion sensor light flickered. On, off, on. The cold air bit at my face. My breath made clouds. I got in my car. The engine started on the 3rd try. I didn't look back at the house, at the windows, at whatever was happening inside. I drove home with the radio off. No music, no news, just tires on wet pavement and my own breathing. The streetlights passed overhead yellow, then dark, then yellow again. A rhythm I didn't feel. The streets were empty. Everyone inside their warm houses, their functional families, their normal Saturday nights that didn't end in destruction. I parked in my driveway. The motion sensor light flickered again. I kept meaning to fix that. I walked into my house and sat down in the dark, 27 years. 27 years of sacrifice, of double shifts and cold pizza and scraped-together dinners, of being both mother and father, of science fairs and little league games and college applications, of loans and overtime and retirement funds cashed out for down payments. 27 years gone in one dinner. I didn't turn on the lights. I just sat at my kitchen table in the darkness, my purse still on my shoulder, my coat still buttoned the house, silent except for the refrigerator humming and the clock ticking. I should cry, that's what people do, but tears felt too small for this too simple. Crying was for sad movies and broken hearts. This was something else, something bigger, something that broke deeper than tears could fix. I made tea eventually, Earl Grey. Minute steeping one sugar, the routine of it. Comforting in its normally, but I didn't drink it. I just watched steam rise from the cup, watched it curl and dissipate, watched the tea go cold around midnight. My phone rang the screen, lit up the dark kitchen's name. His photo from college graduation, happy, proud, hugging me like he meant it. I didn't answer, the ringing stopped. 5 seconds later, it started again. I watched it ring, watched his name flash on the screen, watched it go to voicemail, watched it start ringing again immediately. He was persistent. I'd give him that. The same persistence that got him through engineering school, through job interviews, through life. Now aimed at me like a weapon. By 1 a.m, I had 17 missed calls. The phone buzzed against the table over and over. Relentless, desperate. The kind of calling that means something happened. Something bad, something urgent. Text messages started flooding in. My phone couldn't keep up. The screen just scrolled and scrolled. Words appearing faster than I could read them. Mom, please pick up. We need to talk. Please call me back. Mom, something happened. Please, please, please. You don't understand. Yolandis. Please just answer. I'm sorry. Please. The messages kept coming. Paragraph after paragraph, desperation bleeding through the screen. My son begging me to answer. The same son who told me to apologize or get out. The same son who chose a woman he'd known 6 months over the woman who raised him. By 3 a.m, there were 32 missed calls. 32 times. My son decided he needed me. After deciding he didn't, I turned off my phone. The screen went black. The kitchen fell silent again. Just the refrigerator humming. The clock ticking. Normal sounds in an abnormal night. I went to bed. I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling and watched shadows move across the plaster. Headlights from passing cars creating shapes that meant nothing. Patterns that went nowhere. I thought about Garrett at 3 years old asking where Daddy went, crying because he wanted his father. Me holding him and lying that everything would be okay. I thought about Garrett at 8 blowing out candles on a lemon tart because we couldn't afford a real birthday cake. Him saying it was the best birthday ever because I was there. I thought about Garrett at 16 getting his driver's license, me teaching him in the hospital parking lot on my lunch breaks. Him passing on the first try and hugging me so hard I couldn't breathe. I thought about Garrett at 22 graduating college engineering degree, the first in our family. Him thanking me in his speech, saying I was the reason he made it, meaning it. I thought about Garrett tonight standing in his expensive house, looking at me with hard eyes telling me to apologize or leave, choosing wrong, choosing the poison over the cure. In the morning, I turned my phone back on. 47 more missed calls. The number glowed on the screen like an accusation. Voice messages, texts that scrolled past too fast to read. My phone made noise for 2 full minutes trying to catch up on everything it missed. I made coffee French roast. I burned it a little distracted, not paying attention. I drank it anyway because wasting things felt wrong even on days when everything else was already wasted. I watered my plants, the African violet on the windowsill that refuses to bloom, the spider plant hanging in the corner that's trying to die. the snake plant by the door that survives on neglect. I watered them like it was any other Sunday, like my entire world hadn't shifted off its axis. I should listen to the voicemails. I should read the texts. I should know what happened after I left, what Yolanda did, what Garrett discovered, what truth came out that made him call 32 times before sunrise. But knowing means opening a door I'm not sure I can close. Knowing means forgiving might become possible. And right now, I don't want forgiveness to be possible. I pick up my phone anyway because I'm weak, because I'm a mother, because 27 years of loving someone doesn't stop just because they hurt you. I press voicemail. Garrett's voice comes through. Raw, panicked. Nothing like the cold tone from last night. Nothing like the stranger who told me to get out. Mom, please pick up. Yolanda's lying. She's been lying about everything. Please call me back. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please. I delete it. Next message. Mom, you don't understand. After you left, God. Mom, please call me. I need to talk to you. I need to explain. Please don't shut me out. Please delete. Next message. I chose wrong. Mom, I chose so wrong. Please let me fix this. Please give me a chance. I know I don't deserve it, I know, but please delete next message. Delete next. Delete. 47 messages. All variations of the same theme. Sorry, please. I was wrong. Yolanda lied. Something happened. Please answer. But none of them explaining what. None of them saying what truth came out. What lie got exposed. What made him call and call and call until his voice went, I pour another cup of coffee. This one I don't burn. Small victories on days when everything else is lost. What could have happened after I left? What could Yolanda have done in those hours between my exit and Garrett's panic? Did she keep attacking? Did she turn on Rosalind next? Did she get drunk and mean and show her true face? Or did Garrett finally see what I'd seen from the beginning? The measuring, the calculating, the cruelty wrapped in expensive silk and diamonds. My doorbell rings. I freeze, coffee cup halfway to my mouth. The doorbell rings again and again and again. Someone leaning on it, desperate, insistent, not taking silence for an answer. I know who it is before I look. Know it in my bones. In my tired heart that won't stop hoping even when it should. I walk to the door, look through the peephole. Garrett stands on my porch, Rosalind beside him, both of them looking destroyed eyes, red faces, pale clothes from last night, wrinkled like they never went to bed. The doorbell rings again. Garrett's finger pressed against it. His other hand gripping the door frame like he needs it to stay upright. I could not answer, could let them stand there, could make them feel a fraction of what I felt last night. But I'm weak and I'm a mother. And 27 years of instinct doesn't stop because I want it to. I open the door. Garrett's face crumples the second he sees me. His eyes fill. His breath catches. He looks like he's been crying for hours. Looks like something fundamental broke inside him and he doesn't know how to fix it. Mom, he says just that, just my name like a prayer, like a plea. I don't say anything. I just stand there holding the door waiting, making him work for this, making him earn it. Can we come in? Rosalind asks, her voice quiet, broken. Please, I step back. They walk in. Garrett's shoulders shake. He can barely stand. Rosalind keeps a hand on his back, supporting him, holding him up. I closed the door, led them to the kitchen. The same kitchen where I sat in the dark last night where I made tea. I didn't drink, where I listened to my phone ring 32 times. Garrett collapses into a chair, puts his head in his hands. His whole body shakes. Rosalind stands behind him, her hand on his shoulder, her face pale, her eyes meeting mine with something that looks like shame, like understanding, like maybe she finally sees what her mother is. What happened? I ask. My voice comes out flat, neutral. the nurse voice I use for patients who are dying but don't know it yet. Garrett can't speak, just shakes his head. Tears running down his face, dripping onto my kitchen table. Rosalind takes a breath. After you left, she says, "My mother kept drinking, kept talking. She got meaner, more honest. She said things about you, about Garrett, things I couldn't ignore anymore." She pauses, looks at Garrett. He doesn't look up, just keeps his head in his hands. I confronted her, Rosalind continues. Asked her why she hated you so much, why she had to be so cruel. And her voice breaks. She told me the truth, about everything. What truth, I ask? She's been lying about everything. The vacation home in Scottsdale doesn't exist. She's drowning in debt. My father left her nothing when he died except bills. She's been living off credit cards and borrowing money from anyone who will give it to her. I sit down slowly processing this. My brother Rosalind says the surgeon. They haven't spoken in 3 years. She tried to control his life, his career, his marriage. He finally cut her off completely. Blocked her number, changed his locks, won't let her see her grandkids. Garrett makes a sound, half sob, half something else. Grief, maybe, or rage, or both. She was staying with us because she had nowhere else to go, Rosalind says. No money, no friends, no one who will take her anymore. She'd burned every bridge. We were her last option. And me, I ask, why target me? Rosalind looks at me, really looks at me. Her eyes red, her face blotchy from crying. Because you have what she never had. Real love, real sacrifice, real connection with your son. She saw that and couldn't stand it. She wanted to destroy it, wanted to make Garrett depend on her instead of you. The kitchen falls silent, just the refrigerator humming, the clock ticking. Normal sounds in an abnormal morning. She admitted it. Garrett finally says, his voice muffled, broken. After you left, she kept drinking, kept talking. She said you were pathetic, said you were weak for giving me money, said I was weak for taking it. She mocked your scrubs, your house, your car, everything. He looks up, his face destroyed, his eyes meeting mine for the first time. She said she'd manipulated me, that it was easy because I was already insecure about needing your help. She said she'd played me perfectly, and His voice breaks. I let her. I chose her over you. I told you to get out of the house you helped buy. He can't continue. Just puts his head back in his hands and cries like he's 8 years old again and his father just left. Rosalind recorded it, he says through his hands. The whole thing, every word, played it back for me. Made me listen to what kind of person I'd defended, what kind of person I'd chosen over my own mother. Rosalind pulls out her phone, holds it up. Do you want to hear it? No, I say I don't need to hear it. I already knew what Yolanda was. Knew it from her first smile that didn't reach her eyes. Knew it from the way she measured my dress and found me wanting. Some people show you who they are immediately. You just have to be willing to see it. We threw her out. Garrett says last night Rosalind called her a motel. Paid for 2 nights. Told her to find somewhere else to go after that. Told her we never wanted to see her again. I blocked her number, Rosalind adds. Changed our locks this morning. She's not welcome in our house, our lives, anywhere near us. They both look at me waiting, hoping desperate for something I'm not sure I can give. I'm sorry. Garrett says, his voice raw, painful. Mom, I'm so sorry for everything. For choosing her, for demanding you apologize, for telling you to get out, for not seeing what she was, for not defending you, for he can't finish. Just dissolves into tears again. I sit there watching my son fall apart, watching him understand what he did, what he broke, what he might not be able to fix. Part of me wants to comfort him, wants to pull him into my arms like I did when he was little, when he skinned his knee or had a nightmare or got his heart broken, wants to make it better, because that's what mothers do. But another part of me, the part that sat in the dark last night, that listened to my phone ring 32 times, that heard my son tell me to get out, that part stays still. That part waits. That part knows some things can't be fixed with hugs and tears. You chose wrong, I say. Finally, my voice quiet, steady, not just about Yolanda, about me, about what matters, about who you are. Garrett flinches like I hit him. She's not the one who hurt me most last night. I continue. She's cruel. She's manipulative. But she's nothing to me. Just a mean woman with a wine glass. You're my son. You're the one who broke me. I know, he whispers. I know. You told me to apologize or leave. Me, the woman who raised you alone, who worked 60-hour weeks so you could eat, who gave up her retirement so you could have this house. And you chose a woman you'd known 6 months over, the woman who gave up everything for you. I know. Tears stream down his face. I know what I did. I know how bad it was. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but please, Mom, please. I look at him. Really look at him. At the man he became. The man who made a terrible choice. The man sitting in my kitchen crying like his world ended. And I realize something. Forgiveness isn't about whether he deserves it. It's about whether I can carry the weight of not forgiving. Whether I can live with that stone in my chest for the rest of my life. I forgive you, I say. Garrett's head snaps up, hope flashing across his face. But forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting I continue. It doesn't mean we go back to how things were. It doesn't mean there aren't consequences. The hope wavers, understanding dawning that this isn't a happy ending. Not yet. Maybe not ever. You broke something fundamental last night, I say. Trust, loyalty, the belief that no matter what, we had each other's backs. That's not something you rebuild with apologies. That's something you rebuild with time, with action, with proving you've changed. I'll do anything. Garrett says, whatever it takes, however long, I'll prove it to you. I swear you'll go to therapy. I say, both of you together and separate. You'll figure out why you were so easy to manipulate, why you felt so insecure about needing help, why you chose her cruelty over my love. Okay? He says immediately, yes, whatever you want. You'll show me through actions, not words, because words are cheap. Words are what you said last night when you told me to get out. I need to see who you really are, who you choose to be going forward. Okay? He says, I understand. And you need to understand something else. I say, I love you. I'll always love you. You're my son. But you're not my boy anymore. You're a man. A man who made a terrible mistake. A man who has to live with what he did. A man who has to earn back what he lost. Garrett nods, tears still falling. But something in his face changes. Acceptance. Understanding. The beginning of growing up for real. We'll start over, I say, slowly, carefully. We'll see if we can build something new, something honest, something that doesn't break the first time it's tested. Thank you, he whispers. Thank you. I don't say you're welcome because I'm not welcoming him back. I'm giving him a chance. That's different. That's harder. That's real. Rosalind speaks for the first time in minutes. I'm sorry too, she says, for bringing my mother into your life, for not seeing what she was sooner, for not stopping her, for not defending you. I look at her. This woman I barely know. This woman who married my son and brought poison into our lives. This woman standing in my kitchen, looking ashamed. You were scared of her. I say I saw it. She controlled you your whole life, made you small, made you doubt yourself. I understand that. Rosalind nods. Fresh tears falling. But you have a choice now, I continue. You can keep being that scared girl, or you can be the woman who stands up, who protects her family, who doesn't let cruelty win. I want to be that woman, Rosalind says. I want to learn how if you'll teach me. I almost smile. Almost. We'll see. I say actions, not words. Remember? Yes, she says. I'll remember. We sit in my kitchen, the three of us, the coffee pot empty, the clock, ticking the morning sun starting to come through the windows. This isn't a happy ending. This is just the ending of one chapter and the beginning of another. The hard chapter. The rebuilding chapter. The chapter where we see if love is enough to fix what hate broke. Garrett wipes his eyes. Can we? He stops, tries again. Would it be okay if we came over for dinner next week? I'll cook whatever you want. I need to start proving it. That I mean it, that I'm different. I think about it, about opening my door to them again, about letting them back in, about risking more hurt if they fail. Next week, I say, Sunday 6:00. Don't be late, I won't. Garrett says, I promise. I stand up. They take the hint. Stand up too. Head toward the door. At the door, Garrett turns, looks at me. I love you, Mom. I look at my son. At this man who hurt me, who's trying to fix it, who might succeed or might fail. I know, I say. I love you too. That's why this hurts so much. He nods, understanding that love isn't always enough, that love requires work, that love can be broken and maybe rebuilt. They leave. I close the door, stand there for a moment listening to their car start listening to them drive away. Then I go back to my kitchen, pour another cup of coffee, sit down at my table, and for the first time since last night, I cry. Not for what I lost, for what might be possible, for the chance we have to build something real, something honest, something stronger than what broke. 6 months later, Garrett shows up at my door on a Tuesday evening. No phone call, no warning, just him standing on my porch, holding flowers and an envelope. I let him in. He's been coming every Sunday for 6 months, cooking dinner, doing dishes, talking. Really talking. Not the surface stuff, the real stuff, the hard stuff. He's in therapy, individual and couples. He's working on his insecurity, his need for approval, his fear of not being enough. He's different, quieter, more thoughtful, more honest about when he's struggling instead of pretending everything's fine. What's this, I ask, taking the flowers. Yellow roses, my favorite. Open it, he says, nervous, hopeful. I open the envelope. Inside is a letter, handwritten 3 pages, his handwriting messy like always. It's an apology, the real kind. The kind that doesn't make excuses or blame others. The kind that takes full responsibility. The kind that acknowledges exactly what he did and why it was wrong and what he's doing to change. It's specific. It's honest. It's painful to read because it shows he finally understands what he broke, what he almost lost forever, what he's trying to rebuild one Sunday dinner at a time. I fold the letter, put it back in the envelope, look at my son. Thank you. I say I meant every word he says. I know it doesn't fix what happened. I know I can't take it back, but I needed you to know that I get it now. I understand what I did, who I hurt, why it was so bad. I nod. I know you do. Are we? He stops, swallows hard. Are we going to be okay? I look at him. This man who was my baby, my little boy, my teenager, my grown son who made a terrible mistake and is trying to fix it. I think so, I say. Eventually, not today. Not tomorrow, but someday he smiles, small, sad, hopeful. I'll take someday. Good, I say, because that's all I can promise right now. He hugs me. I let him. It feels different than before. Less automatic, more earned, more real. When he leaves, I put the yellow roses in water, read his letter one more time, then fold it carefully and put it in a drawer. Some bridges once burned can be rebuilt, but they're never quite the same as before. The new version is different. Stronger in some ways, weaker in others, built on truth, instead of assumption on honesty instead of obligation. Maybe that's okay. Maybe the new version is better because it's real, because it survived fire and came out changed but still standing. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you loved, you know this pain. You know how it feels when loyalty is tested and found wanting. You know the weight of deciding whether to forgive, whether to rebuild, whether to risk loving someone who hurt you. To anyone being disrespected by family, your love doesn't make you weak. Your sacrifices aren't pathetic. You don't owe anyone an apology for having boundaries. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let someone face the consequences of their choices. Let them learn. Let them grow. Let them prove they deserve a second chance. What lesson hit you hardest from this story? And if you were in my shoes, what would you have done? Would you have forgiven Garrett? Would you have walked out sooner? Would you have handled it differently? Don't stop here. Click the next video on your screen right now and watch another story from our channel. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and share your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next one.